What's going on, trappers? This video here is going to be a we're going to do a dirt hole set. This is going to be a video for beginners, whether it be kids or adults just getting into it. It's going to be part of a beginner series I'm going to do. Been looking forward to doing. We're coming here just shy of October, so we're getting close. But we're gonna go through the whole process here. I'm gonna show you how I make a dirt hole, which shouldn't be too far off from how anybody else makes a dirt hole. Whether it is or not, it works. I caught over 40 red fox last year on dirt holes, somewhere on P-Post. We caught 60 red fox last year total. So I hope you can get something out of this. Adjust the camera angle down here, about right here. We'll move it here when we need to. I just use a 3-pound hammer with a wedge on the back. To get started, this is a mowed trail here on a brush block. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have the dirt hole right back here at the long grass, and we're gonna have the traps in here right at the short grass before the mowed grass, so that way when the mower comes around here at this property, it doesn't hit your set and it can still work. So we're gonna start by just getting the top layer off. Now here in PA we've had a pretty good dry spell, so it ain't too hard to get it off. Set that to the side for a second. Okay, actually we're gonna do it right here like this. So I'm gonna get this bed going, and I'm gonna put some dirt in a sifter a while. These are roughly about 10 bucks. I go through one a year. I'm pretty hard on my sifters, but they work. Usually they only get hurt during the winter time when stuff gets a little rough and you're trying to shred up grass. So we're going to be setting a Duke 550 today. Normally I would have gloves on, not because I'm worried that much about scent when I'm touching the dirt, but more or less to keep my hands from getting messed up every years of doing it. The cold weather eventually does get to your nerves and your joints and stuff, so I wear gloves when I'm out setting traps. Between touching the cold steel in the winter time and working a lot in the cold ground, wet ground, it's just pretty much for my convenience. I know a lot of guys wear gloves and some don't. Like I said, I don't wear gloves for the scent convenience. The only thing when I'm setting a trap, the only thing I'm worried about as far as having scent on it, it would be the trap, which in that instance, more or less just like a urine, or like if your lure gets on the trap and then you bed it in the ground and you have the dirt hole there and your canine comes in to work that set. That's the only time I've really ran into issues of having scent or contaminants, as you would call it, in your set. So like I said, the reason I wear gloves is for my convenience, not so more or less for the trap convenience. So we're gonna get this dug out here now. I'm gonna bring you in here a little bit closer. Try to at least. Oh, you can see it. All right. You're not gonna see me, but you're gonna see this dirt hole. I want you guys to be able to see this. So we got this dug out, and we're just gonna work the hammer a little bit more. Now we don't want to set this really deep, and like the early season here in PA, up until like it's gonna rain, like it'll rain when trapping season starts. That's just Mother Nature, and it's just how it goes every year. But it's not gonna be really the ground you're gonna have to worry about here in South Central PA until closer to Christmas. So we got a roughly 2-inch deep hole. And just to clarify, we're gonna take tape measure. We're gonna measure. It's roughly about, we're gonna do about 1.5 inches. 1.5 to 1 3/4. So I'm gonna bring this side out just a little bit more. Like I said, now this is a lot slower than we usually go, but it's just to show you guys here. So we get that all out. I take the trap. Always set the trap with your hands on the ground. At least the way I do it. You figure if you're setting it with your boots, if you step on the corner of the jaws and step down, you're stepping with your boots. Unless your boots solely ride on the back of your truck, you're gonna have a chance of getting contaminants on here, which, like I said, the only scent I'm worried about, or contaminants I'm worried about on a trap, is like a urine or a lure that would happen from rain flooding out a hole and coming onto your trap and making the trap stink, and then to dig the hole out. But at the same time, if I was just in a gas station or at the gas pump, or say around a whole bunch of dogs, or at my house in general, I don't want to put my feet on a fresh trap that's ready to go in the ground, just for that reason. I will either bare hands that I know are clean with not scented soap, or gloves, and you will set it that way. So I'll just run this down here, flip the dog over, get it set here, and then you're just gonna, on these Duke 550s, you just run it down. You hear that click. It's gonna go slow here so you hear it. There you go, you heard that. Now normally I would take a, I have it here on me. I would take my split ring with my wolf fang and attach it to the back of my trap. I would drive that in the ground. Now, so you're gonna put this in here. Now you can see we need to go just a touch bigger. So I'm gonna run my hammer a little bit farther back. Once you do this for long enough, you just kind of get a sense for it. So I'm gonna do about like there. Now, I tend to run my traps either just a touch offset like that, or even some sets will run like this. I never run them quote horizontally, because in my eyes, if a fox or a canine, a raccoon, we're gonna go with anything at this point, because you know dang well you're probably gonna catch a possum. When they come into a set, if they're working it from the front or your front, to them it's whatever. If they come in and they step on it, when this jaw kicks up, and they say they step here, when this jaw kicks up, it has the chance to kick their paw and leg forward a little bit. What that does, when that jaw comes up, what that does when they step is that will elevate their foot just enough that you're not going to get, you might still get a catch. You might get a miss, you might still get a catch, but if you get a miss, it's because it kicked that foot up. Now these traps are relatively quick. Any trap really you're going to use is relatively quick, so you're still going to catch it. But to get a fully committed catch, and you guys will see this season following my channel, because we'll go over it on every catch. But to get a fully committed catch, I either run just a hair clocked offset. So like, if you want to say like you want to put your levers at like a like at 11 and 5 per se, or at a 12 and 6. So when they come in, these jaws come up, grip, and you'll half the time, if the trap has a little bit of wet on it, like I run freezer paper on top of mine, and half the time I'll come in, if they're really committed to it, when this jaw is up, their foot will be almost over here off the pan down here at the lever. They're that committed to it. When they put their full weight of, say, anywhere from 7 to 16 pounds on it if it's a red fox, obviously heavier if it's coyote, and they come in, you're gonna get a fully committed catch. So with that being said, so now we know our trap's gonna fit, and right here we know there's a little bit of play. So I'm gonna move this out to the side, and we're gonna take your hammer, and I'm just gonna make just enough for your ears to be able to sit. Now this chain here, this is gonna be down like this, and you're gonna do, you take your hammer and you're gonna make a dimple about 2 inches deep, 1.5 to 2 inches deep. That just gives these center swivel traps, it gives that a chance to go down without interfering so much. So what I'll do is I'll run this down, and then I will run this first swivel that's off the bottom of the center swivel. I will run that off here on the non-spring side of the lever. It's enough room that you can put it. And now with our levers being clear, the trap set, there's just a touch of play. So what you do with that, especially in early season, which early season to me is anything before Christmas, it's right here is where we didn't dig. So I will come over here and I'll smack that ground just a bit. And what that does is it takes the ground and it squishes it over just enough. Now we still got some play, so we'll come over here. Now we're gonna do this all before we do the dirt hole, because the most important thing of this whole set isn't what you have in the hole. The most important thing is the set is this trap's not moving. Now you can sit there and argue and say the most important is location. Yes, it is. So it's a tie there. But when you get to the location that you think's right, because none of us is perfect, and you want to set a set, you want to make sure this trap is solid. So we're going to come around it here all the way. Okay. Now, look at that. That thing ain't going nowhere. We're going to press down on that. That trap is solid. Okay. So now that I know it's solid, I'm going to get it out of there because I don't want to set it off. But I usually do is I keep 2 drivers around. I mainly run Wolffangs. I keep 2 drivers around. This here is an older driver. I do this because I'm going to go about, get the tape measure out again just to show, from the center of the pan, I just go like this with my pinky and my thumb. I'll go from the center of the pan back, and now that's where I'm going to put my foothold. Or yeah, from my foothold, that's where I'm going to put my dirt hole. I'm sorry. We're going to go, that's about 8 inches from the center of the pan. So measure your hand out before, when you're doing sets, honestly. I don't care how petty this sounds. I've done that. I do this all the time. Double check. But right there, make sure this is seeing. From pinky to the tip of my thumb is 8 inches. So at every set, when I come up, usually I'm not at a set for too long unless they got it destroyed and it's a remake. And I come up and I get everything done like I just did here. And I come up and I put center of the pan back to here. It's 8 inches. So mainly what I'm trapping is red fox. And when they come in, when they put their paw down to their nose, the orientation of their leg, their front legs to their tip of their snout, where they're going to be looking for the bait, that's about right. And that's going to catch them every time. So I keep 2. I keep my anchor driver from the year before around, and I use that for the dirt holes, to make my dirt holes. Saves you a hassle of charging a battery or keeping a battery charged, extra tools in your truck. You can do that. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I might end up eventually doing that, but for now, this works perfect for me. So I'll take this driver, I'll put it right at the tip of my pinky, and I'll run this in. Make sure you can see this. We're going to run that in as far as we can go. We're going to run her around a little bit. I'm going to run in farther. We want to try to run close to 16 inches deep. Okay? It's just, the more they got, the farther that's down in the hole, is the longer they're going to spend trying to get to it. The longer they're going to spend trying to get to it, well, by the time they find it, which if you make it deep enough, they're not going to find it. They're going to hit this pan before they find that bait. Okay? So keep going down. Now we're getting close to some rocks here, it seems, so we're gonna take this and be a little aggressive with it and wring this out. I'm gonna try to run a little bit more. We're gonna wring it a little bit more. Lean down on it. We wanna roughly have, as you can see, the holes from here to here to here to here. I keep my holes about that big around. I don't wanna be small. I don't wanna just be poke holes. I don't wanna be big gaping holes. I wanna be enough that a red fox can stick its snout down there and smell it. But he's got to dig to get to it, because if he's got to dig to get to it, 9 times out of 10 he's going to walk around the backside of your set and he's going to try digging from the backside. In that process, he's going to make a circle. And if he's comfortable enough, he's going to make a circle and he's going to try to dig out the backside of that hole. He's going to get aggravated. He's going to come back around here to the front. He's going to step in that pan. So we're going to pull this out. I'm going to grab it right from the base. Now, we hit rocks down there, so, but at the same time, we have the whole orientation with my arm here. So when they come up to the set, they have to come up to the pan to look down the hole. But at the same note, they can't come around here to the backside and look down that hole. They could try to, but their head's gonna be about right here. So more than likely, they're gonna be right here to look down that hole. All right, everyone, welcome back. The reason I say that is it's 84 degrees out here today in South Central PA. And I just had to take about a 40-minute break to put my GoPro in a cooler to cool it down because it got too hot to record anymore. So returning to the exact spot, the exact area, about roughly where where the GoPro ended this. So we made our dirt hole, we made our trap bed. Our trap is bedded solid. We have our dirt hole in. So I'm gonna grab a tape measure here out of my bag. And now I've hit rock bottom, which from having previous experience at this spot, I know I'm not gonna have a problem with dig outs because of this ground, the hardness of it. So now this is about the whole way in. So from the base of the hole out, we're gonna take it. So right now our dirt hole is 9.5 inches wide. And 3 inches wide, minus the grass. So I'm gonna take you down there right now. So right here is our dirt hole. Let me get everything out of the way. One second. Oh, what is it? Dang, dry dirt. There we go. It collapsed in on dirt on me. That's how dry it is here. That's how dry it is. So anyhow, you've seen that. Like I said, it's 8.5, 9 inches deep. It's about 3 inches wide. Here's the traps bedded. It's not the best looking, but it's dry dirt right now. And like I said, the main point of this is I want you guys that are just gonna get out there this season here within a couple weeks here in PA. You might already be trapping if you're down south. But the point of this is I want you to see how to make a dirt hole that I can guarantee you will catch bait or lure, that is your choice. I will show you what I put in, and if you choose to go with what I use, that is fine. What I'm going to put in the hole today is what I use from about a week shy of Thanksgiving on through the season, minus a long call. So, all right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put dirt over this trap. I do not have freezer paper on me today, but I usually, what I do is I will put a section of freezer paper on here, just enough to cover. You don't want dirt to go under here or down underneath this on this side or this side. So what I will do is take my sifter with everything I have in it the way I put it in. So you're going to take it here, and you're then going to brush it with a hand with a glove on it, or a broom, whatever your choice. Like I said, I'm not telling you how you need to do it. I'm showing you a way that you can do it, that you will catch anything on your line that is in your area this year. So the only difference is we're going to lose a little bit of dirt to go underneath the pan right here. And you're going to shake it around. Don't be worried about grass blades or nothing. Your big chunks are going to stay, as you can see up here in the sifter. You're just going to go back over. Now your pan is right here. Okay. Try to push it down right here. Okay. So what I will do then is I'll take my fist. Can't be scared of your pan, guys. If you're scared of your pan, you're scared of your trap going off, you need to put some more time in your first shed, or find somebody that's been doing this for longer than you have as far as modifications or as far as maintenance in your traps. I don't expect you to know everything if you're new to this. If you have used traps, which is perfectly fine, and honestly the better way to go money wise, I don't expect you to know how to do everything. There is YouTube, but some of the stuff, just, you're not going to feel comfortable doing it. So you get this bedded solid. I just like to do it. This dirt's dry, but if it was wetter, just do it, pack it in there a little bit more. I'll take some dirt clods from up here. Like I said, grass in the sifter doesn't matter, guys. Now, you don't need to put your pan under 3 inches of dirt. You just get it out of eyesight. So most of the time, I try to get my pan. That's all rocks. So we're gonna take this and chuck it. Get rid of it. Go. So I just try to keep a fine layer right over top. Now, you're going to notice how this is kind of a rougher looking dirt. Okay. Well, when you have a dog that digs up a set, or not a set in general, but when you have a dog that digs up after bait or after something he's after a mouse, he doesn't take the time to pull a sifter out of his pack bag and make this dust. Okay, so that's not going to scare him in general. All right. So what I would do at this case, this is just all your loose stuff. So we will kind of brush this back in a little bit. Get rid of that out of the way, so we have a clear path to your dirt hole. Got a thorn in my finger. Whew, didn't plan on that one. But I would take, say, even if it gets windy, we would take this leaf and we'll lay this right here. Okay, you can do this with a dirt clod, a leaf, a rock, water grass. Now your pan's right here. Okay, so when they come in, if they don't step here, that's fine. You don't want them to step there. They're gonna need to be a little particular about where they step. So they're gonna step right here, or they're gonna step somewhere in this area. They're gonna come in, work from the front, and they're gonna step right there. And like I said before in the prior video, if they come around the back, they're gonna to get into that dirt hole. They're gonna be right here. So now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna get our lure bag. This is just a cheap bag from Walmart. You can see, this is just a cheap bag from Walmart. It's like $14. I got it last year. I use, that's what I was using for the majority of last year. It just worked for me. This butter knife. You take your bait. Get you focused over here. Right there. Okay. Take your bait. Put it down in the hole. The heat's been a little rough on this. It's just older bait I had from last year. I like it a little bit runnier than thicker. And we're just gonna rub that around in the dirt. So when it does rain, because it will, it's trapping season. When it does rain, it'll be stuck to the dirt instead of just a clod that'll come out and float and go onto it. And then I take a little bit of this. I use it as a curiosity lure. It is a curiosity lure. That's what it's made as. It is a beaver, a muskrat, and a mink gland based. This stuff here I haven't opened since last, probably about the second last week of February, maybe beginning of February. I will take the same knife. I'll take just a little bit too much. Take just a little bit. Now, to some of you that might be a lot, but this is just to show you. Now, we will have sheep wool in the hole over top of that, and we will be putting that curiosity lure into that sheep wool in a sense. Now that helps hold it as well. So back here we will take the loose grass we had from right here at the trap bed. Okay, now we're going to put that back here. That'll act as a backing per se. I'll grab some loose grass from around. Just going to cover it up a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to take primary red fox area, but I'm using coyote urine. You don't have to use red fox urine for red fox. And I squirt right on the back. I'm very liberal with it. And right there. Now, I'm not going to leave this trap here. Didn't anchor it, nothing. The season's not in for another month yet. But I just wanted to make a set and show you. And we will back up. Put my bait knife back in there. So where we're at here, so we have a trail coming across, a trail coming down. We have a fence row here with a 2-track or a trail, you want to call it, coming up. Going up through, going up over a hill, and then so the majority of brush blocks. I pulled roughly 8 or 9 fox off here this year, or last year. And then I also set a trap right there. So they were across from each other. Because when one didn't want to work this set, it would work this set. Or we would come into doubles. You will see all of that this year. So, I appreciate you for tuning in, guys. If you like this video, I hope it taught you something. Hit that like, subscribe button, and share with a friend. Will be more to come. I apologize for the little lengthy video. Didn't plan on the GoPro dying. So until next time, guys, tight chains, trap prep in the shed, and we'll see you next time.